Hi guys, this is me Femni and welcome to my channel. For today's video, I am going to talk about how I got my Schengen visa in 2 days. So if you're interested about the topic, please keep on watching. There are only 7 steps that you have to follow if you're planning to apply for a Schengen visa. First one is, you have to figure out what type of Schengen visa do you need. Depending on the purpose under which you need to enter a Schengen area, you can apply for one of the following. The reason why you need to do this first is because the requirements that you'll need to submit will depend on the type of visa you're going to apply for. The second one is to figure out where you need to apply. There are actually rules that you have to follow in choosing where to file your application. Since there are 26 countries in the Schengen area, if you're planning to visit only one country, then you'll have to file your application to the embassy, consulate, or visa centers of that particular country. If you're planning to visit 2 or more countries, and if you think that you will be spending equal amount of days for each country that you're going to visit, then you'll have to file your application at the embassy, consulate, or visa center of the country that you will step in first. Or if you're planning to spend unequal amount of days for each country, then file your application at the embassy, consulate, or visa center of the country where you're going to spend the most days. The third step is to find out when is the most suitable time for you to apply based on your travel date. The earliest time that you can apply is 3 months before your travel date, and the latest is 15 working days before your planned trip. The fourth is to gather all the documents. After knowing which type of visa you need, you'll have to know what documents are necessary in order for you to be able to apply for that particular visa. I personally have applied for a tourism visa, so in the later part of this video, I'll be giving you the list of documents that I have prepared and submitted, and thus all you need to do is to grab a pen and a paper and take down some notes. The fifth is to book an appointment. You need to make sure that you will be able to book an appointment for you to proceed with your application. Now, in some countries, they allow you to book online, but for some, you really need to go in person to the embassy, consulate, or visa centers. The sixth is to submit your requirements and have your biometrics taken. On the day of your appointment, don't be late. Show up on time, because based on experience, if there are only few applicants for the day, they will call you 5 to 10 minutes before your scheduled time. Also, based on experience, there's no interview. When it was my time to go inside, I just gave my passport to the person in the main entrance. He checked it and then gave me a small piece of paper indicating which cubicle I should go. Then I proceed to that cubicle. The person assigned to that cubicle checked all the documents that I have, and then that's it. He just verified my phone number and then gave me a small travel guide. He then led me to the cashier to pay the fee and then to the last cubicle where they took my biometrics. And take note, they will also take a photo of you, so make sure that you look good on that day, or else you'll be like me, looking all so haggard in my visa photo. The seventh step is to wait for an answer on your application. This is actually the part where you get so nervous because you'll never know if you're going to be approved or rejected. Luckily in China, it only takes 2 to 10 working days. 2, if your documents are intact and the embassy is convinced that you're only going to the Schengen area based on the type of visa that you applied for and that you have sufficient amount of money to support your trip. But if the embassy will ask for more documents, or if they have doubts about the papers that you have submitted, then they will call you. They will call your employer and all the other references that you have to verify. They will be asking some more questions, and that will make the process longer. As for my application, it only took 2 working days. I applied on a Thursday, and on a Friday, I think they processed it, and then on a Monday, I got a text message saying that my passport is ready to be picked up. In the Philippines, on the other hand, a friend of mine who is currently applying for a Schengen visa told me that it will take a minimum of 2 weeks for a regular processing. However, my cousin told me that there's an option to have it 1 week, That's the rush, but you'll have to pay more. Now let's talk about the requirements. First is, of course, your passport. It has to be valid and should have at least 2 blank pages. One is for the visa and the other one will be for the stamps. Also, if you have an old passport, just like I do, because I have an old and a new one, you'll have to submit both, because they will be checking your travel history. They will be checking all the stamps and visas that you got from other countries, and also they will check if you have applied for a Schengen visa before. The next one is a visa application form. Now, I'll put the link in the description box so you can easily locate it. Make sure that you completely fill up all those information and do not leave any space blank. If you think that an item does not apply to you, then just write NA. The third one is 2 identical photos with white background, not older than 6 months, and should have a dimension of 35 by 45 millimeters. But then if you're going to go to a photo studio, then they will know exactly what you need once you tell them that you're going to apply for a Schengen visa. The fourth is a travel insurance that should cover the number of days you're planning to stay in the Schengen area. The fifth one is round-trip flight reservations or flight itinerary. It has to contain the dates and the flight numbers specifying your entry and exit from Schengen area. Now, you don't really need to buy a plane ticket because it's so expensive and you're not even sure if you're going to be approved or denied. You just have to reserve one, and reserving is way cheaper than actually buying the plane ticket. The next one is a proof of accommodation. You'll have to pre-book a hotel or dorm in the country you're planning to go to, because you'll have to write that in the form. And also, I think that the embassy will verify it, especially if they have doubts about the other documents that you have submitted. With that being said, I would recommend Booking.com, because here you can book a hotel room without spending a single dime, since you can opt to pay at the property itself once you arrive there. And they offer free cancellation, just in case you change your mind. The next is proof of financial means in the form of bank certificate and bank statement. 3 months bank statement is required. I also attach my 3 months payslip just to support why I have that amount in my bank account. And also, I have heard that in the Philippines, they will require you to give them your ITR. I also submitted a certificate of employment that indicates my employment record, the name and the contact information of my direct boss, who they will contact for verification just in case they need to. It also contains the name and the official contact information of the company itself. It also indicates my salary, the salary that I am receiving monthly, and that the entire duration of my trip falls on a holiday, and that I'm not abandoning my work and I still have a job to come back to after my trip. For OFWs like me, you need to make sure that your residence permit is at least 6 months valid before applying for the visa. You also need to submit a detailed itinerary which indicates the activities that you're going to do, the places that you're going to visit, the dates, and so on when you arrive in the Schengen area. Birth certificate is also necessary, and if you're married, you'll have to provide a marriage certificate too. If you have assets like real estate properties, cars, or anything like that, you can also attach it. Not really necessary, but I did because my agent asked me to provide some. One last tip before I end this video. It's going to be easier if you will get an agent to help you with your application. The agent will help you book an appointment, will provide flight reservations so you won't have to stress yourself finding a cheaper one online, will prepare for your detailed itinerary, and will look for a cheaper insurance for you to purchase. At first, I planned to DIY the process. But after I calculated the cost, it's actually cheaper to just get an agent to do all the work that I have just mentioned, because they have access to different alternatives, which is cheaper than the ones that we can find online. So I think that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you find this video informative, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, please click that subscribe button and the bell notification so that you will be updated for the upcoming videos that I will be posting about travel, teaching, and OFW life. That's all, and see you once again in my next video. Bye-bye!